Well, good afternoon, and thank you everybody for joining me. I'm going to introduce some of you that haven't heard about Japan Gold to the company, and then what I'd like to do is provide some updates of what's changed since the last time we were together, because we have had some substantial changes in the company, and I'll try and do it all within the very short period of time that we have. Forward-looking statements for your consideration. So Japan, in terms of a destination, Japan is one of the safest geopolitical countries in the world. It has a rich history of high-grade gold mining that started right back in the 7th century. It has a very strong regulatory system, and it has a wonderful gold endowment that still is remaining to be further released or unlocked. The background really is that in 1943, there were actually 76 active gold mines operating in the country, and the government closed all 76 mines and moved the miners into base metal mines and factories to support the war effort. And that created a closure in the mines that only resumed lightly after the war concluded. After the war, 12 of the mines reopened, but 64 of the mines remain closed today. Japan Gold was formed and entered into Japan in 2012 when the mining law was changed to allow for the first time in the country's history foreign companies to come in and actually own prospecting rights or mining rights. And we were very fortunate to go there and be the first company. We spent 2 years studying Japan and the closed mines. We focused specifically on low sulfidation epithermal gold mines, which are quartz veins with gold in them, simply put. And we also were very careful to provide good input in the regulatory system as it evolved over the first 2 years. And then it took another 2.5 years for us to start applying for our portfolio of projects in Japan, and we ultimately acquired our first 12 projects there. Our 12 projects our initial 12 projects cover 64, or of the 64 closed mines, they cover 42 of the 64 closed mines. We have a very strong set of investors in our company, and I'll detail those in just a couple of moments. We have a management team that's very, very strong, both in operating mines and in making discoveries. And now our portfolio of projects has grown since the last time I was here from 12 projects to 24 projects. Just to touch on our share structure, currently management owns 26% of the company. Management paid for its shares, and it paid above market, current market trading prices. 30% of the shares are in the general public's hands, but 44% of our shares are held by Newmont Gold Corp, RCF, Resource Capital Funds, the Opportunities Funds that Russ was just speaking about up here as one of the panelists. BlackRock manages 2 large Japanese funds. They're significant shareholders. There's 2 large shareholders from New York, Donald Smith and Libra, and then Mackenzie from Canada. So we have a very strong and supportive base that holds 44% of our company. Newmont Gold Corp is also part of our technical committee. They've been very active in helping us design our programs and have been instrumental in having us input geophysics as an important tool in our exploration basket. Our market cap, by the way, is currently between 30 and 35 million Canadian dollars. So quickly to go through Japan, Japan has 3 islands. The northern island is Hokkaido, the long central island is Honshu, and the southern island is Kyushu. And this slide just highlights the areas that were the historic mining areas in Japan where the 76 mines were. This is just a quick slide that just talks about the mines that reopened after the war. Beneath the first mine, which I'll talk about in a moment, the Hikari Mine, but it also talks about in the second column the number of ounces that have been produced. Then you move on to grade and the fact that they were throughout Japan and that all of them had closed by the mid-1970s. The outlier is the Hikari Mine, which is listed at the top of this list. And this was a discovery that was made more recently by the Metal Mining Agency of Japan, the government agency that was the only party that was really exploring after the Second World War. And in 1981, they made a very significant discovery on the southern island of Kyushu on some Sumitomo metal mining ground. And the Hikari Mine is a principal asset of Sumitomo Metal Mining. They've mined 7.6 million of those ounces to date, and they have very significant reserves remaining. There's just some photos of those low sulfidation epithermal gold mines, veins, and it's really impressive to see this whole collection of veins that they have in the Hikari Mine. We currently have 24 projects that I mentioned. 11 projects are in Hokkaido, 1 project is in Honshu, and 6 are in the southern island of Kyushu. And a lot of people ask me, well, what are you? Are you a miner or are you a project generator? Well, the fact of the matter is, as first movers into the country, we are a project generator. We've generated this wonderful suite or portfolio of projects. Where we go from here is that we are fully organized to be operators in the country with geologists, drilling rigs, a drilling team as well. But we're also mindful that with a large portfolio like this, it's impossible for a small junior company to advance those. So our strategy is really to keep 1 or 2 projects for ourselves and really look at joint venturing the balance of our portfolio with major international mining companies or large mid-tier producers. And so we're proceeding in that basis. Just to touch on the southern island of Kyushu, I'm going to take you quickly through Japan. There are 2 light green areas highlighted on a very busy slide here, but the southern one that's highlighted is the southern Kyushu epithermal gold province, and it's the most gold-endowed province in Japan. Over 11 million ounces of high-grade gold have been produced there, and that's where the Hikari Mine is located in the midst of it. The red outlines of properties are our projects that we've applied for and have had granted to us, and we have the dominant position in that particular gold province now. That certainly seems to be the envy of a number of other large companies. This is blowing that up just a little bit. You can see the Hikari Mine is surrounded by a green outline. That's the Sumitomo Metal Mining ground. There are some other small areas that are legacy mining districts, but the red areas are our dominant position. And we very carefully analyzed this gold province to try and find areas that had very similar settings of the Hikari Mine. I'm just going to slip through a few slides here up to Hokkaido. So we've moved 1,600 miles north to Hokkaido. There's a gold province that again is outlined in green. We have a number of projects in that area. We very carefully analyzed it. And there's another large Sumitomo Metal Mining asset that stopped production in the mid-1970s, the Hikari Mine, that produced over 2.35 million ounces. And so we're in very strong company there. And we're very active on a drilling program on the Akutohara project, which is on the right-hand side of that gold province. I'm just going to keep moving here. This is a blow-up of the Akutohara project. The quick takeaway here is that there are 17 high-grade underground gold mines or significant workings across this small 200 square kilometer project. We've identified a number of projects that are significant in that they are all part of one large system. And that's what we're focused on now in terms of drilling across one of the main mines there now. This is just some grab samples of some of the mines within a large district where the 7 mines are located. So just going back, in the red outline, there are 7 mines that are in an area that's 6 kilometers by 2.5 kilometers. And they are one large system, and that's a key focus and something that's a real priority for Newmont Gold Corp as well. I'm just going to move right now to our management team. Mitsuhiko Yamada is our lead director. He is formerly the chief executive of Sumitomo Corporation, the global minerals division, and he's our mentor and leader in Japan. I'll point out Takashi Kuriyama on our management team, formerly the head of global exploration for Sumitomo Metal Mining, and previously the general manager and chief geologist at the Hikari Gold Mine. We have other people that are advising us and supporting us as well. We're fully operational in Japan. We have 1 drilling program underway. We have 3 geophysical programs underway, and we're moving towards that joint venture strategy that I outlined. So I think we've got a very strong year ahead of us, and I encourage you to follow along with us. And finally, I'll just go to this last slide here. A lot of people wonder what it looks like in Japan and what our operations look like there. This is just a collage of photos that show our operational base in the North Island of Hokkaido, one of our drilling teams operating one of our drill rigs, and the kind of core that's coming out of the ground. Thanks for your attention this afternoon.